What's with the chicken? Good day, audio listeners. My name is Fago, and welcome back to an album review. Today's subject, Jason Mraz, Waiting for My Rocket to Come. Jason Mraz. A lot of you watching this video know his music, but some people know the name. Prior to the release of this record, Jason was a roadie for a band before transitioning into a local coffee shop where he would perform weekly for 3 years. Eventually, he would sign to Elektra Records, which takes us to his debut album. One thing to know about Jason is that he did not learn how to play guitar until after graduating high school. So he was fairly new to performing and playing an instrument when he was performing at that local coffee house. But one good thing to consider is that he was a very good vocalist for a long time prior to the coffee house, because it's very evident in this record that he is. His rhythmic, smooth style is something you don't get from a lot of musicians from the 2000s. And we can see that right off the bat with the debut single, The Remedy. The Remedy is personally one of my favorite songs on the album. The little triplet electric keys in the background along with the soft guitars I was really a big fan of. The very catchy chorus along with that little cranking bass that you kind of get sometimes. Not to mention the song is about not worrying your life away. At the time of the song, one of Jason's good friends was diagnosed with cancer, and it changed the perspective that Jason had on life. Another song that I like a lot on this record is Sleep All Day. Sleep All Day talks about procrastination and the issues with that. The album's title, Waiting for My Rocket to Come. What kind of waiting are we doing for the rocket to come, which is success? Because there's a few types of waiting. You can wait for it to come to you, or you can work hard and earn that. And there's a lot of times where we're going to be burnt out and we're going to be tired and we're going to want to sleep all day. I want to sleep all day just thinking about it, to be honest with you. The little catchy doo-dah-dahs that he does to fill the emptiness in the song, I really do like. The chorus is really nice where he goes, sleep all day. I like that a lot because it's like 8th notes, 16th notes, and triplets all combined into one, and I'm a big fan of that. Once again, the guitars sound amazing. The drums are also really good in this. I remember the first time I heard this song, I had a hard time predicting where Jason was going to go with his rhythmics. By far, this song is one of the best ways to show Jason's vocal talent. A soft song on this record is Who Needs Shelter. We get this very chill blues tone to it. It's a bit of a departure to the pop rock sound that Jason starts this record off with. The strings and the guitars blend in well together. They're very soft and I like it. We also get this little whooshing sound that it kind of sounds like someone is like using brushes on a snare. I like that a lot. I also like the dynamics also when the chorus hits where you can feel the strings build up a tiny bit. The guitar solo is also so well blended in with the song that I can't even recognize when it comes on. The song is about misery and Jason's refusal to let that feeling rise up. Who Needs Shelter is disregarding the bad feeling inside of us. In the chorus, he says, who needs shelter from the sun? Why choose to be miserable and unhappy when a lot of the times we don't look at the entire picture and appreciate with what we're blessed with? Too Much Food is a very interesting song. No, it's not about having too much food on your plate, but more in a figurative manner. Whereas instead of having too much food, like actual food, it's more about creative control or dealing with people giving you the wrong advice. After all, he talks about cutting people off, which would be the food. It's a very interesting comparison, comparing someone to a chicken wing, kind of like that. It's a bit more forgettable when compared to the other songs, but it's solid. Of course, the second big hit from this album is You and I Both, and it's about the immediate feeling of a breakup. The recollection and processing that Jason goes through is like, wow, you and I did this and you and I did that. It kind of relates to what people like us in our 20s deal with when it comes to the end of a relationship. And I also love how he raises his tone on the chorus because he's like, oh man, this relationship was so much to me. And then I think he's realizing how valuable it was to him where he just lets it all out on his vocals. You can feel the mourning that he has for this relationship build up, and I am a big fan of how the dynamics slowly rise up as the song goes on. And not to mention, the bells on the ride cymbal, oh, they're just so good. What Jason does on this record, he takes a lot of topics, but he explores them in different ways. Because when it comes to love and sadness, it's not about recollecting what the relationship was. It's about talking about how fragile a relationship can be. Kind of like a heads up for the next relationship that he's going to be in. And his figurative language is pretty good because he compares endurance in a relationship to rust in the rain. Jason's vocals are once again phenomenal. The bridge can throw me off a tiny bit a few times, but hey, still good. Now, I did mention Who Needs Shelter, but another slow song on this record that I do appreciate is Absolutely Zero. And this one's actually really sad when you think about it because Jason is not only recollecting, he's taking responsibility for how the relationship ended. And what's so fascinating as he's able to point out one exact reason, and it's because of the increased work in his career. It kind of sounds like he's talking about his first divorce. This song reminds me of Lover You Should Have Come On Over, which I talked about recently in the previous video with Jeff Buckley, because of how naked the song feels. It points to one exact reason why. One of Jason's most popular songs of his discography is the song I Won't Give Up, but if you were to ever transform I Won't Give Up into a more pop rock sound, I think I'll Do Anything on this record sounds pretty similar to it. Because I Won't Give Up talks about, obviously, I refuse to get a divorce, I refuse to break up with this. And I'll Do Anything kind of talks about I will do anything it takes to either have you, to have this relationship, or to keep this thing alive. And the guitar quarter notes on the ands, big fan of. And his creative use of the chorus about how he explains, I'll do anything, it's amazing. And the guitars sound so great, but they can also sound comedic at the same time. It's something I can't explain, but it sounds amazing. The third single on this record is Curbside Project, and the guitars are a little too much in my opinion. We also sometimes get a little bit of country to it, which I don't think really works well with this. It feels like the guitars are trying to clash with each other for which one is going to get a solo. I do see the approach, and the song becomes a bit more catchy when the drums come in, and it's unfortunate that this song is not really up on my like list because this song really emphasizes the whole waiting for my rocket to come theme. And there's even a dog barking on the song, which honestly, you should have added the chicken because there's a chicken on this record. No Stopping Us has the similar issue that I have with it. Instead of guitars, there's horns that I don't really think work well with the song. And not to mention, it's also a bit forgettable too. Now, the final song, Tonight Not Again, it may sound like it has the same issue as those, but if I'm going to be honest, the very unique guitar chords work. Because while the song starts off a bit eerie, the percussion adds so much to this song. The chorus is very magnificent, and Jason kind of adds a little bit of gibberish in the chorus. While the song isn't as powerful as other songs on this record, it's a pretty good closer. If I'm going to be honest, it's a pretty overlooked closer in Jason's career. My favorite part of this song is when Jason just raises his vocals so high to where you just have to like sit back and be like, whoa, what the heck? The building into that final chorus is just so powerful. I think one thing that I like about Jason's approach to this record, it doesn't entirely dwell in the darkness. Because there's motivation in this record. There's The Remedy. There's I'll Do Anything. It's kind of crazy because it almost feels like Jason knew success was gonna come. He was just waiting for it to come knocking at the door. Thankfully, Jason was right. His rocket would come. He just didn't know when it was going to. This record was very commercially successful and it would lead to other records that he would make along the way. There's a lot of storytelling that he does into this record, and in his sophomore album, he even talks about the sophomore slump and the fear of that. But of course, we'll talk about that later. The smoothness in Jason's vocals. The production is also very solid. It's very consistent, especially with the drums. The dynamics, the building, Jason does it all. Especially with a lot of final choruses that he has on the more pop rock sounds. And for a debut record where he just now started playing guitar, not even for 5 years, he did really good. Not to mention, there wasn't a lot of excitement heading into this record. He wasn't really known, if I'm going to be honest. Overall, good record. My score for this record is a 76. If you hated this review, liked it, or if you want me to review another album, let me down below. As always, good night and God bless.